about technical terms and stuff. They just say it like a real person.
WSIC News Talk Now.
Good Tuesday afternoon, listeners. You're listening to 105.9 WSIC. I'm Debbie O'Hanley, one of the hosts of Community Centered, and I'm here with my friend Margi Kyle, founder of Little Smiles of North Carolina. I hope that you are all having a fabulous day. I'm excited about our guest today. But Margi, before we get started with her, a couple of things for you. Did you know, I was listening this morning to Bill and Justin, and did you know today is Recognize an Angel Day?
I didn't know that.
So I looked up in my dictionary, or as my good friend Chris would like to say, when you were growing up, did you have the Funk and Wagnalls encyclopedias or did you have the Encyclopedia Britannica? And I looked up the word angel, and I think I saw your name and your face by it, because
That's beautiful.
we talk about this every week about what we try to do, and in the world that I exist in hoping and helping homeless women and children get back up on their feet. I think about the smiles that you put on children's faces. And just this afternoon, I was talking with someone who said, what does that look like when you're putting a smile on a child's face? So give us a quick rundown. What is Little Smiles?
Little Smiles is a nonprofit. We have a chapter in Florida that my son and his best friend started. And then we have one in Philly. We have one in New York. And I started the one in North Carolina. Very long story short, when I was 16, I was in 3 major car accidents, told I'd never walk again. I know what it's like to be a child in the hospital looking at the ceiling. As a designer, that's why I always look at the ceiling and try to do something fun. Fast forward many years, my son at age 15 had a diving accident, broke his neck, and was totally paralyzed. He's fine now, but I couldn't not do Little Smiles because we work through the nurses. Anything those nurses feel those kids need to put a smile on their face is what we do best. Pizza night, character visits, laptop, whatever. We'll put a smile on their face is what we do.
That's amazing. So listen, when you think of the word angel, think of Margi Kyle today, National Recognize an Angel Day. We're sitting right here with her. I am also thinking today, Tuesday, August 22nd, we are getting closer and closer to back to school. So there are probably some kids out there that are either getting excited or getting scared or
That's
whatever.
right. Yes.
And I want them to know that their angels go with them as they start a new school year. That
We are
they're
here
gonna
for
be
them.
okay. Yep. And I know at Hope House, you can feel the anticipation with the kids that we have there that are getting excited about going to school and what that looks like. So everybody has a backpack. It's all filled up. I think we have some new shoes. So everybody's prepared and ready. I don't think we've done Meet the Teacher yet, but that's coming up. So lots of anticipation happening at the Hope House this week for little ones and their moms. So I am excited about our guest today. I hadn't met her until we walked into the studio, and Margie Brady, Bill, the station manager, called her Mrs. Brady. I love that.
He's young and he's proper.
I know, but I'm like, we're interviewing Mrs. Brady. That's amazing.
The Brady Bunch.
Exactly. So I'm excited personally to learn what she does and what she can do in this community. I'm going through a transition myself with my mother, who's a senior, and looking to make some changes for her. So I am going to throw up the red flag and say, where was this angel when I needed her when we started this? Because I really didn't know where to go or who to turn to. I followed the commercials with Joan London on TV, A Place for Mom, and learned that really wasn't what I was looking for. So I'm excited to learn about what Mrs. Brady, Margie Brady has.
Yeah.
And also excited to learn that she knew Chris Anthony, with Alan Tate, who was one of the founding board members of the Hope House, and who is also the dad of Justin Kazepis, who is the station owner now. So I feel like there's a synergy here, right? When we talk about the word angel and how today it was chosen that you come here and talk about what it is that you do, but also know that you knew Chris and the wonderful work that he did in our community.
And I think that's really what we're all about, the two of us, is connecting people that can help us in our community make it a better place to live.
Absolutely. That's the goal, right?
It is.
You know, in this
It
hour
is.
time, we just want to talk about hopeful things. We want to talk about bringing people resources. We want to bring people together. And
Yes.
hence the word community-centered, bringing, you know, hearts and smiles together with hope so that we can just help heal our community.
Yeah. So, should anybody who is listening have an idea or a business that really could help us, we would love to hear from them.
You can always call the studio at 844-STUDIO-4, or that's 844-788-3464. And just a reminder to our listeners, we are streaming live on social media, so you can see us on Facebook if you should so choose to do that. And we're all on all those other Twitter, there things that are out there. I know
I think it's called social media.
Yeah, social media things. And we are on WSIC 105.9 FM. So what else can we talk about in this first opening
Well,
moment?
again, just next week we have Jim Cooper from Hospice coming.
Oh, amazing guy.
We have Mike Riley, who is president of Novant, coming and talking about how perhaps we can help our doctors and nurses. They're going through difficult times. And we deal with all of these people. So we're not just dealing with nonprofits. We're dealing with people who help the community any way they can. And I wanted to make that clear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have, I met a wonderful woman at the Charlotte Farmers Market this weekend who wants to come. Her name is Zephyr.
Oh.
She has an amazing story, as well as she sells an amazing product called Glow Body. I started following her on TikTok thinking, okay, you know, I like her product, but her message is extraordinary. And I think once people learn about Zephyr and her products, they're going to go viral. People are really going to want them. So if I'm looking extra slippery and shiny today, it's because I've got Glow Body, Zephyr's amazing product on.
And if I look covered, it's because I don't.
So I met her a couple of weekends ago, and then I just started following her on the TikTok. And her message is just amazing, what she wants to bring to the community. So she's a woman.
But there's so many people out there that have amazing messages.
Absolutely.
And I think that's our main goal, is to get them here to share what they do, how they can help the community. And
I think that's what Margie and I just want to talk about, is we want to talk to people who want their story heard, their business heard, their missions heard, whether you're in the non-for-profit world or the profit world, or, you know, if you have something that you think the community needs to hear, we want to hear from you. So again, you can call 844-STUDIO-4 or 844-788-3464, and you can talk to Bill. He will give you all the information you need to get in touch with Margie and I. When we come back from the break, we're going to be talking to Mrs. Brady, Margie Brady.
And her bunch.
Yes, with Alan Tate. Margie's going to take the driver's wheel and go from here and get to know her a little bit and tell us all of the wonderful things that she's doing and how we can get in touch with her to learn more about what it is. So when we come back, in just a few short seconds after our station break, we will be talking with her and learning more together about how she makes hope happen with the business that she does in our community. With, I'm going to say, Mr. Brady. I think he joins her as well. J.C. Brady with Alan Tate. We'll be back shortly. Can't wait to hear all the good she does in our community.
Yep.
There's more community-centered with Hope House Executive Director Debbie O'Hanley on the way from the new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Asheville native Kanan Cox will be performing at Kane Center for the Arts Friday, August 25th. Show starts at 8 p.m. Kane Center for the Arts 2024 fall season. Buy your tickets now at kanearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Happy birthday, Huntersville! Celebrate Huntersville's 150th birthday this Saturday. Primal in Huntersville will have live music, food trucks, and special deals all day on August 26th. Huntersville is 150 years old, and you should celebrate at Primal off of Highway 115 in Huntersville. It is one of the last couple of weeks to enjoy open swim at the Kerrigan Farms Quarry. Thursday, August 31st is the end of the swim season at Kerrigan Farms Quarry. Swim up an appetite with the whole family and enjoy Kerrigan Farms Farm-to-Table Restaurant. Kerrigan Farms open swim at the quarry. Enjoy it before the end of August. Love cycling? Love supporting veterans? Purple Heart Homes presents Take That Hill. Sign-ups are open now. The event is Saturday, October 7th. It is a great way to support a local organization focused on veterans. Take That Hill, presented by Purple Heart Homes. For more info, visit bikesignup.com. Eli Yacinth Band is playing this Friday, August 25th, at the Upper Room in downtown Statesville. Enjoy a great show with a full 9-person band. Have a full night of jazz music with the Eli Yacinth Band, Friday night at the Upper Room in downtown Statesville. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
I'm Nick Rice with your WSIC forecast. As we head through the rest of the afternoon, it's going to stay mostly sunny and hot with a high of 95 expected. Heat index values will be as high as 100. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 68. On Wednesday, it's going to be another sunny day with a high of much cooler, 86. Wednesday night, mostly clear, a low of 66. Thursday is going to be sunny with a high of 92. I'm Nick Rice from WSIC's Weather Center.
Call now to speak with Hope House Executive Director Debbie O'Hanley, 844-STUDIO-4, Community Centered, 1059, 100.7, WSIC.
Breaking news, expert analysis, and the stories that matter most, all in one place.
I totally acknowledge seeing flames is a scary situation.
WSIC News Talk Now.
Welcome back, listeners. You're listening to Community Centered. I'm your host, Debbie O'Hanley, the Executive Director to the Hope House Foundation, with my friend and my angel, Margi Kyle, with Little Smiles of North Carolina. Margie, I'm going to give you the wheel and let you introduce your friend, Mrs. Brady.
Mrs.
And
Brady.
we're going to hear about
I'm
what
going to
she has
call
to
my
say.
whole family and tell me I've been called an angel today.
That's
because they
right.
won't believe it.
I know.
But we're sitting here with another angel, Margie Brady.
Mm-hmm.
And seniors serving seniors in real estate with their needs. You do not look like a senior.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you both for having me here today.
Our pleasure.
It is my
Yeah.
pleasure as well.
So I know that my husband and I in December had to relocate very quickly, and it was very upsetting and disturbing. We had about a month to do it. And
Terrible.
we definitely are seniors.
Yes.
So I'm sorry, I didn't know about you then either, but I am glad now, and I love the service. You are a real estate specialist in senior citizens relocating. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? How you get that qualification?
Sure. It is Senior Real Estate Specialist.
Okay.
And it is a designation that the Real Estate Commission authorizes, and it requires considerable classes. And then once you complete the class, and we are licensed
Okay.
then, which I think is very important, because as you have seen, and Debbie, as you are dealing with as well, it is not an easy transition, and many times
No, it's not.
to undertake the real estate transaction as seniors. So my husband and I, as seniors, we felt we related very well to what clients of ours, senior friends of ours were dealing with, the same things that we had been dealing with. And we thought, this is a necessity. This is so important. And what is the best way we can help serve this group of folks, of which we are a part?
Now, you and your husband have been in this area since 2009.
Correct.
And together have a total of 40 years of experience. So this is not a new game for you.
No, we have been in real estate since 2009.
Okay.
Before that, we were involved in a family furniture retail business up in Ohio. And it had served its purpose, and we relocated here and reinvented ourselves.
Which I love.
And it was great. It was a great opportunity moving here. We loved moving to North Carolina from Ohio. We didn't have to deal with the winters and the snow.
Yeah.
So it was enjoyable. Plus, we have a daughter and her husband and our 2 grandsons here.
Okay.
So it was the best move for us. And then we became involved in the real estate business. So we were reassigning our skills from retail into real estate.
Well, I laugh. People ask me, how did you get here? And I say, the car.
Right.
And we've been here almost 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
We lived in Canada. I'm not Canadian, but I had lived there for about 30 years. And my husband said, let's move back to the States. We've been here long enough. And literally, we just got in the car and started driving. And once we found Lake Norman, we went, wow, what a place to live.
Yes.
And to enjoy. And of course, we had none of the amenities we have now.
Right.
Other than just wanting to escape. What are other reasons why people might relocate as a senior?
Well, there's lots of reasons. Some are, yes, they want a new lease on life, want to start over someplace fun and different from where they had been. Others are more determining, like there's been an incident in their lives and they need to downsize, or they want to be close to family. Or it is a financial situation. So there are a variety of reasons, probably as long as you can think.
Well, for us, it was the snow and the winters.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, us too.
Yeah.
So, yes. So there are many, many reasons. And I think this area specifically is wonderful because of the beautiful weather.
Yeah.
And, you know, when we came from Ohio, the first thing I said to my husband, you've got to come out and look at the sky. The night sky was so beautiful. Northeast Ohio is a little cloudy a lot of the time. So I was so pleased to see the beautiful sunrises, sunsets, the stars.
Beautiful Carolina blue skies,
Absolutely.
Right? So pretty.
So
yes.
I just get in the car and I drive here. And the car stops here. I call you. I have no idea what this community offers. Where do you start with a client as to what might be the best area for them?
Very good question.
I've been there before. That's why I'm asking.
Yes. It is a building of a relationship.
Right.
So what the best part for me is to sit down together, get to know each other, talk about dreams, desires, wishes. If you could have ... what does that look like to you?
Yeah.
And as we talk about ourselves and each other and we learn, I'm all the time,
Your wheels are spinning.
Yes.
And if people don't know what they want, I, as a designer, always said, what don't you want?
Very good as well.
Yeah,
Do you want, dealing with here, do you want to be on the water?
that's right. Yeah.
You don't want to be on the water. Do you like golf? Do you like country club? Do you like neighborhoods with families?
Yeah.
Do you like senior neighborhoods,
That's
55
right.
and over?
Yeah.
So there's that narrowing down. And as we talk, we become more familiar with what things are falling into place. Oh, I didn't really know that I liked that.
Right.
Once we get out and start looking at the area, seeing properties, I thought I wanted that, but now I know I don't,
Yeah.
and this is what I like. So it's a learning, and it's a getting to know one another. So I'm interviewing them, they're interviewing me.
But that's right. Yeah, because you really don't know, especially if they're just moving to this area from somewhere else. They
Certainly.
don't have a clue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've had many clients that were very
Well,
new
this
to
is
the
how
area.
this area started.
Absolutely.
There's very few natives.
Absolutely. And I was one of those when we came, from Ohio and having family in Florida. We would travel down 77 and we would cross over Lake Norman. And I would always go, oh, ooh, ah. I never in my life thought I would actually be living here.
Yeah.
So, and we were the same way when we moved. What should we do? Where do we want to be? So, yes, I'm very familiar with those kinds of feelings because I've experienced them myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my husband and I have always worked as a team. We were together in our family-owned furniture business, all of our careers together in our married life. And then we also worked together in our real estate business.
And I commend you for that because that's not an easy chore either.
What has really worked well for us is he's the numbers guy, and I'm not.
Right. Yeah.
So
You make a good team.
Yeah.
The
we
Brady
do.
bunch.
Yeah.
Brady. And it has worked well. So we kind of stay in our lanes.
Oh, that's
And
beautiful.
we can cross over if we need to.
Yeah.
And he's always there for input from me, and likewise, I'm there for him. And that's been the blessing of our working relationship and as our marriage.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, usually the man wants to talk the number, so it's great that you've got that there. And then you
Yes.
can still talk about the feelings.
Yes.
And how do you
the
want to
people.
feel, and do you want to get involved with the community? Do you
Right.
want to live downtown?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, there are just so many questions to ask.
Yes, there are. But they begin to narrow down. The further you get into the relationship,
Okay.
they begin to settle in. And the best part is when they find their wonderful, special home. And we're sitting at the closing table, and there's so much excitement, and they're so very happy and can't wait. And that, to me, is the icing on the cake.
You've done your job well.
Yes,
then. Yeah.
and they are thrilled.
Yeah.
And to make that transaction smooth, especially dealing with seniors, because it can be overwhelming at times. Where do I go? How do I? Well, the biggest thing is, how do I sign documents? Everything is done online now. Everything is technology. Some of the seniors we've worked with are great. Oh, we're fine, no problem. Others are, oh my goodness, it
What do you mean,
scares
text me? That what do you want to do to me?
I don't text, and I don't really do well on the computer. No problem.
Yeah.
We'll come, sit at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Talk things over face to face.
I hate to interrupt this fascinating conversation, but we're going to cut to commercial break here shortly in the next few seconds. But when we come back, I want to learn more about this. I'm so fascinated because personally, having been in it right now myself and having followed my children down here, now I'm a senior, I guess, I fall into this bucket. So when we come back, we're listening to Margie Brady with Alan Tate and our friend Margi Kyle.
Community Centered with Hope House Executive Director Debbie O'Hanley will return after this short break on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Local news and weather now on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC. News Talk Now.
I'm Mike Jackson, WSIC News. Joe Matthews, CEO of Arco Design Build, told Cornelius Today yesterday that his company will work to help curb the noise issue that residents of the Glen Ridge community have been complaining about. That's a good thing because Deputy Mayor Wayne Herron, according to Cornelius Today, plans to shut the entire operation down if the noise ordinance is not followed. And a Henderson drug dealer will spend 15 years in prison after he pleaded guilty earlier this year, officials said. Tyron Hargrove, 23, who was caught after a 115-mile-per-hour chase in June of 2022, was sentenced to 15.6 years in prison Friday for trafficking fentanyl and heroin, according to a news release from the U.S. Attorney of the Eastern District of North Carolina. Now, sports with Joe Berg.
The Ravens' preseason winning streak of 24 games was snapped last night as the Commanders beat the Ravens 29-28. And the Colts have given frustrated running back Jonathan Taylor permission to seek a trade.
WSIC weather, sunny and hot today with a high of 94. Partly cloudy overnight, the low 69. Then Wednesday, sunny with a high of 87. Sunny again for Thursday with a high of 93. Mike Jackson, WSIC News.
The Dell Technologies back-to-school event is on, with deals on top tech for class, hobbies, and more. Now, when you buy, you support a cause. With every eligible purchase, Dell will donate to UNICEF in support of GIGA, a UNICEF ITU global initiative to connect schools across the globe to the Internet. Accidental damage protection included. Get rare deals on select laptops and desktops powered by the latest Intel Core processors. Save now at Dell.com/deals. UNICEF does not endorse any company, brand, product, or service.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
6701 Carmel Road, Suite 110, Charlotte, North Carolina, 28226. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up AutoSave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools. One bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
AutoSave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching a kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Hi, this is Todd Starnes. Are you aware that if Social Security were taken off the table, only 4 of every 100 Americans would be financially stable at retirement age? That means 96% of retirees today are being underserved by their financial advisor. How will it affect your financial plans if tax rates go up? What if you had a plan that could potentially get you to the 0% tax rate after you retire? Has your advisor ever talked to you about this? Wouldn't you like to keep more of what you've accumulated and not go backwards every 5 to 7 years? Well, I want to tell you about my friends at Navstar Financial Planning in Lake Norman. Their process is designed to accomplish these goals and more. Their mission is to protect the wealth of hardworking Americans. And my good friend Larry Jones is a fiduciary and member of the Financial Planning Association. You can reach Larry at 704-663-7482. That's 704-663-7482.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Community Centered continues now. Here's your host, Hope House Executive Director, Debbie O'Hanley, on the new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back, listeners, to 105.9 WSIC, the new WSIC News Radio. You're listening to myself, Debbie O'Hanley, Executive Director of the Hope House Foundation, my friend Margie Kyle with Little Smiles of North Carolina, and Mrs. Brady, Margie Brady with Alan Tate. We are having a conversation about transitioning seniors and what that process looks like. So me personally going through that, my mom lives independently in her own place, but she's lonely. My dad passed away 2 years ago, and she's missing all of that social piece. So we didn't know where to go. We knew that we didn't want to put her in assisted living or into any kind of facility like that, but we wanted her to have experiences where, she can be social, where she can have a glass of wine with someone if she wants to, where she can paint, where she can go on activities. So we found a wonderful place in Davidson that we're going to be transitioning her to. But in the interim, there are so many questions and so many unanswered things, like what do we do with the condo now? Or do we sell it? Or is it income property? And then even today looking around for a mover, what are we moving over there? And what is she taking with her? And how hard is that to leave the things that you treasure behind, your photo albums and all of those things? So it's really, as the executive director of the Hope House, I specialize in transition, right? And what we say is transition is that space between what was and what will be. And for some folks, that can create great anxiety. And for some folks, it can create great peace, right? They know where they're going. When we talk to Jim Cooper next week, we'll talk about hospice and folks that know where they're going. They know where they're headed. They're going to heaven. That also is a transition. So, Margie, I'm fascinated by what you have to do because it's a personal thing that I'm going through right now. And I just want to know, when it comes to how do you help folks make those decisions? How do you work with them to say we think the best advice we have for you is this? Where do you start with that?
Well, in very, very important and very, very typical. What we try and do first off is tremendous compassion, understanding the emotional levels, how much anxiety is there. And then the other part is to pull in the family. That's a very important piece. What members of the family are involved and who is the closest one that should be involved, and maybe a problem solver, maybe a point person. And then the conversations begin very slowly and very gently, assessing, again, that stress level. As far as where they're going, we also pull in the healthcare folks. What kind of needs healthcare-wise? Do they need assisted living? Is there independence that's still very, very strong, and that wouldn't be necessary? Maybe a 55 and over neighborhood where they do have a lot of social activities, and that maybe would be more appropriate for some folks. Others, like maybe your mom, would require something a little higher level than a 55 and over, but not quite the assisted living. So there's lots of options these days, and I think it's necessary to approach things from a very slow, diligent, full of compassion, and pulling in the right folks to, again, glean the proper information, giving the person, the senior, the choices they want first.
And what do you do if you've got a husband and a wife that are totally opposite?
Yes, that happens.
Yeah, because I'm not going to a senior living.
Exactly.
And
sometimes, Margie, you let the universe take care of it. I'll give you for instance, with my folks. So my folks were living in Raleigh. My mom was a real estate agent. It was time to start having that conversation. What are you thinking about settling? And so we offered them the opportunity to come here to the lake area. And my mother said, the only way I'm leaving here is feet first. And so we drove back to Cornelius that night. And my husband and I said, well, we tried, we asked. And they, they're going to have to get help because their home is too large and they have too much. So as we pulled in the driveway, I got a phone call from my mother, and she said, you're not going to believe what just happened. And I said, yeah, I am. Try me. And she said, someone rang our doorbell tonight after dinner and said, if you were ever going to sell this house,
oh my gosh,
we would be interested in buying it. And so as an agent,
how much did you pay
she whipped out a contract and she sold her house. And I said, great, we're moving. Now you're moving. We're going to do this together. And so I had to go back and forth to Raleigh to help them wrap up a home that they'd lived in for 25 years as I tried to wrap up my own home. And our closing date was in 1 day of each other.
Oh my goodness.
Several years
and
ago.
And you called me an angel?
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. And they've moved, my folks have moved 27 times. And if you asked my mother, she would say to her, this was probably one of the best moves they ever made because they love Lake Norman. They love the active lifestyle. She'll still go swimming and do what she can. So we are a beautiful community, right? With our greenways and our places to be and just being outdoors, right? Is fabulous.
So much to offer.
Yeah. So that's my angel/senior transition story that I can share with you.
Well, and sometimes it takes getting both people in the car and going out and looking at things.
Yes.
And that has helped wonderfully. As I stated before, I thought I wanted that and I don't. I love this. And it's happened time and time again. So actually getting in the car, going out, comparing, and the two, it's amazing. They end up coming together.
Yeah.
Finding that perfect place.
Absolutely.
Well, my mother got in the car because my father said we are moving to a senior living facility down in Hilton Head. Absolutely exquisite. And they put a sticker on the back of my mother's car that said senior living. And she cut it out. But that was the number to get her into the... So after the third time, they put a new sticker on her car, and she had cut it out. They called the police on her.
Oh, boy.
I said, okay, Mother, get out of the car. Put your hands up because you are guilty. And she said, I will never live in a senior facility. She hated it the whole time, which was sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
But...
that's why it's important to really find out what that person wants. The senior is the lead. The senior client, that
was my father. He was the oldest.
Okay. Take the lead, and then, if possible, follow in, bringing in the right folks to help make the best decision. But definitely they have to feel as if they have a choice. They're making the best choice for themselves.
Yeah.
So we try very, very hard to make sure that
I don't think
happens.
anybody could have made her happy.
That's another show, Margie.
Yes, yes.
Oh my
gosh. Whole other show, for sure. So absolutely, we do our best to approach things in a very, very comforting way. Transitions can be very difficult. And Debbie, you brought up the whole idea of leaving a home that has maybe been lived in for many, many years and accumulated a lot of precious, wonderful things.
And memories.
And then it's not all going to fit.
Yeah.
You can't bring it all. We have been very, very diligent in bringing in a wonderful group of partners that we have partnered with that can help in these types of situations.
Keep that thought, because we're going to have to probably go to a break.
All right.
But I think this is a good point that many people have.
Indeed.
When we come back, you're listening to 105.9 WSIC. We are streaming live on social media. We're going to hear more from Mrs. Brady on helping seniors transition in their next phase of their beautiful, hopeful life. We'll be back shortly.
Oh, okay. I can see both of you.
There's more community centered with Hope House Executive Director Debbie O'Hanley on the way from the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Asheville native Kane & Cox will be performing at Kane Center for the Arts Friday, August 25th. Show starts at 8 p.m. Kane Center for the Arts 2024 fall season. Buy your tickets now at kanearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Happy birthday, Huntersville! Celebrate Huntersville's 150th birthday this Saturday. Primal in Huntersville will have live music, food trucks, and special deals all day on August 26th. Huntersville is 150 years old, and you should celebrate at Primal off of Highway 115 in Huntersville. It is one of the last couple of weeks to enjoy open swim at the Kerrigan Farms Quarry. Thursday, August 31st is the end of the swim season at Kerrigan Farms Quarry. Swim up an appetite with the whole family and enjoy Kerrigan Farms Farm-to-Table Restaurant. Kerrigan Farms open swim at the quarry. Enjoy it before the end of August. Love cycling? Love supporting veterans? Purple Heart Homes presents Take That Hill. Sign-ups are open now. The event is Saturday, October 7th. It is a great way to support a local organization focused on veterans. Take That Hill, presented by Purple Heart Homes. For more info, visit bikesignup.com. Eli Yacinth Band is playing this Friday, August 25th at the Upper Room in downtown Statesville. Enjoy a great show with a full 9-person band. Have a full night of jazz music with the Eli Yacinth Band, Friday night at the Upper Room in downtown Statesville. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
I'm Nick Rice with your WSIC forecast. As we head through the rest of the afternoon, it's going to stay mostly sunny and hot with a high of 95 expected. Heat index values will be as high as 100. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 68. On Wednesday, it's going to be another sunny day with a high of much cooler, 86. Wednesday night, mostly clear, a low of 66. Thursday is going to be sunny with a high of 92. I'm Nick Rice from WSIC's Weather Center.
The Ugly Antenna is bringing back old technology to help those without a streaming provider to watch up to 50 channels absolutely free. The Ugly Antenna is not the big, unsightly outdoor antenna of the past. It's new technology that is connected to your TV inside your home. You can get your Ugly Antenna by calling 704-682-1755. The Ugly Antenna isn't really all that ugly. Call 704-682-1755 to get yours today. That's 704-682-1755 for the Ugly Antenna.
Now more community centered with Hope House Executive Director Debbie O'Hanley on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back, listeners. We're listening to Mrs. Brady from the Allen Tate Company about senior transitions. And Margie, hold up that booklet that we were talking about during the break. This is a fabulous resource. I was just looking through it going, where has this been for me? All the questions that I had regarding my mother's transition are answered in this book. So Margie's going to let us know how to get in touch with her and how you can get a copy of this fabulous Moving On booklet that she has that I just literally during the break was flipping through and going, wow. I didn't have to reinvent the wheel. It was already done for me. So listeners, if you are going through this, if you have seniors that you're caring for, if you have someone that you need to transition, may I be so bold as to suggest that you reach out to her and get that information in your hands so that you can stop sweating like I did through this.
It's all in here.
And find some friends. It literally is from financial questions to medical, all kinds of it.
Illegal,
moving.
So, yes.
Thank you for providing that. And on that note, can you tell us, Margie, how would someone get in touch with you? What are the next steps? Someone's listening.
Yes.
They have a senior they're working with. They want to contact you. How would someone get in touch with you?
I am with the Allen Tate Company here in Cornelius. My name again, Margie, Margie, Brady, Brady. My phone number is 704-230-7561. My email is margie.brady@allentate.com. I would love it if you're in need, you know someone, you are that person, to please reach out. The booklet, I'm happy to hand deliver it, mail it to you.
You don't get better service than that.
Sit down and go through it with you. It is from the Senior Real Estate Specialist portion of the North Carolina Real Estate Commission. So, and it is so complete with so many answered questions in there. But it would be best if we could meet and go through it together.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good way to do it.
Definitely.
If someone were going to call you and meet with you, what kind of things should they bring to that meeting?
Well, I think it would be bring the persons or person, whether it be a spouse or a child or a friend who cares and is involved. Or if it's just you and you're just beginning the thought process, that's great too. But it would be wonderful to meet in person and talk through your hopes, your dreams, your likes, dislikes, and start that conversation going to help you the best we can.
And I think my advice would be to recognize that it's a journey, right? And it's not something that you can't enter into lightly, that you need to really be considerate of feelings, emotions, and situations, and to just take your time and be patient.
Absolutely.
Because you'll get to the finish line together if you can just slow it down.
And it may, you're exactly right, it may take several gatherings to decipher
I would think so.
what needs to be done, what your hopes and dreams are, and how to best achieve them. And as I said before the break, we do have many partners that are part of our group that we turn to help with relocation, to help with the move, to prepare your home for market, to figure out what am I going to do with all my beautiful things. And we can help with all of that. How do I stage my home? I am a licensed stager as well, so that I'm very helpful with that end. But these are all questions that all of a sudden start spinning, and we can attack each one at a time, go step by step, hand holding, sitting at the table, face to face.
One of the things that I used with my mom was saying to her, and she's met Margie before, I said, Mom, what if we just started new? Like, we could go look for upholstered chairs together. What's your favorite color? What would you like to live this season out in? And I said, then we can talk to Margie. She can help us set it up with all your pretty things that you have. And she's like, I can? And I said, absolutely. You have permission to surround yourself with all the colors and things. Like, maybe before you chose plaid sofa because Dad liked it, but now you can do floral in your space. And she was very excited about that. And now it's like waiting for Christmas. Now that we've made the decision, we're waiting to have that happen. But, being able to say, you know what, you can do something new.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Step out of the box. It's, it's your last kick of the can.
Right.
So they say,
and
to do what you want.
Oh, so well said. Yes. And starting new memories.
Exactly.
Yes. And it's a wonderful door opening to a whole new opportunity.
Yeah.
I've seen so many smiling faces because that's what's happening in so many people's lives.
Yeah.
Just because we're seniors doesn't mean that all of that has to go by the wayside.
Right.
No, and it's overwhelming to look at all of your stuff and imagine it in a new spot, which is what I do for a living and have done it for 50 some years. So, I mean, I could go in and look at all her pictures, help her decide which ones go, which ones stay, and do groupings and
exactly. And then what do you do with the things that remain?
That's right.
How do we forward those on? repurpose those in someone else's life or put in storage. I mean, there's lots of options, and nothing is insurmountable. We can overcome.
Well, again, it
whatever
goes back
is
to
pressuring.
communications.
It does.
Yeah.
Definitely. The most important part is to start that conversation and the relationship.
Yeah.
That's the part I love.
Yeah.
I love that relationship building and just loving on my clients and what it works for them. We end up with so many friends when the transaction is
I
done.
bet you do. You have a magical personality, and I think
thank you.
you seem very peaceful and soothing. And I'm sure anyone with going through this very anxious time would want to have a Mrs. Brady in their life.
Oh, very sweet, Mrs. Brady. That's
Don't even
so
tell
funny.
me you bake cookies too and bring them to people, because I'm gonna be like, wow, that's awesome. But we all need a Mrs. Brady.
Aw,
I think
to
how
so.
help
sweet.
keep us organized in our life. And I think
Yes.
that's a wonderful, wonderful service you're providing to our community. You
It's-
really do.
It's what I love. And my husband loves it as well. He's such a good guy to have by my side and to be a part of the whole transaction, the transition.
That's beautiful.
How long have you been married?
We will be married 48 years at the end of August.
Bless. That's coming up.
I know. Next week, is it? Next week? I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
It goes fast, doesn't it?
It sure does, but it's been a wonderful ride. We look at each other now, and we have 8 grandchildren, and we just thank God.
Blessed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lord, because we are blessed and we have each other and we're healthy and we're doing what we love to do.
And you're loving this Lake Norman life,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And every time it snows in Ohio, you're looking back.
I know.
Well, when
And
it
the
snows
cloudy
here, you
sky.
count to 10 and it's gone.
It's gone. In fact, my husband used the blower to blow the snow off
Mine
the driveway.
brought his with him, and then he went out and bought an electric one of those shovels.
Oh.
Everybody thought he was crazy. Now
the
I know
blower,
why.
like a snow blower.
Yeah.
Okay. He brought the leaf blower out and blew the snow. And he had more fun telling the Ohio people. Guess what I did today?
There's a lot of
It was so
Ohio
fun.
people here.
Yes,
There
there
are.
are.
Yeah.
In Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they can't stand it. It
Yeah.
gets so cold.
Yeah.
We're done with that. Move here. We call them all
Beautiful
down.
Lake Norman, and especially hot Lake Norman today on this
Yes.
day.
Yeah.
On WSIC 105.9, you're listening to the hot community-centered station here with my friend and angel, Margie Kyle, and my name is Debbie O'Hanley, your hostess. We have been delighted today to listen to our friend Mrs. Brady and catch some wisdom from her, to learn about the resources in our community for our seniors. I'm so excited that someone like you exists, because when you tell Deb, my family says telegraph, right? Tell Deb, telegraph. So I'm going to go out there and tell as many people as I can that there is this amazing service, that you don't have to struggle like I did, that Margie brought this wonderful resource to us today on the show so that we could know that there are people like you existing out there to help us.
Yeah.
I'm delighted to have met you and hear that you're there. There's hope on the horizon.
Indeed.
Right.
So happy you had me. Thank you so very much.
We like to put hope back in the headlines, don't we, Margie?
And a smile on people's faces.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Love that. Love that.
Well, callers, if you have ideas for Margie, you can always leave a message at 844-STUDIO-4 or 844-788-3464, or you can find us streaming on all of your social media channels. You can also listen to us on Facebook every Tuesday from 3 to 4 p.m. Your friends, Margie and Debbie, will be here. Next week, who are we talking to next week, Margie?
Jim Cooper.
Jim Cooper. People, he is with hospice, and talk about an earth angel.
Oh, gosh.
You are going to want to tune in and listen to him. He is fabulous. His personality is sparkling. He's a musician, and he is a gift to all of us. So if you have questions concerning hospice, or you want to learn more, we will be speaking with Jim Cooper next week here on Community Centered. I'm your host, Debbie O'Hanley, with my friend Margie Kyle. We have learned a lot today with our friend Margie Brady. Sorry, I'm just kidding you, Mrs. Brady. And we're hoping that your day, the rest of your day, is filled with hope and a smile. Have a great day.
The new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC, Statesville, Mooresville, North Charlotte.